This windy, chilly, cold Friday night, we prepare you guys for an exciting weekend of football. We're talking college football playoff round one, which is starting literally as we speak. We got big time NFL matchups throughout the weekend. We got football tonight, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday. What are we going to do? Well, I guess what we could start is giving some predictions because it is time for another edition of the Friday Night Gridiron Picks. Welcome in, everybody, back to another edition of the Friday Night Gridiron Picks, only here on 609 Sports Talk Radio, coming at you guys live from Hamilton, New Jersey. This is the show that gives you all the information, all the predictions that you need for your weekends of football. And this week, we got a doozy. As always, Sam Nelson, Tyler Adams. Tyler, how we doing tonight?
Oh, just getting ready for this kickoff here for one of our picks for the night.
Yes, we have got a huge show tonight. So, of course, we have the NFL tomorrow and Sunday, and of course, Monday. 4 straight days of exciting football. But we are going to start off with, of course, the game that just is about to kick off its first play here. We are going to kick it off with the college football playoff to start the show. And just to give you guys an idea of what we're working with here, let's go pop over that bracket. That is a terrible first play by Oklahoma. What are they doing? Let's throw the bracket up for a minute for the people at home to see. So here is what we are going with. We will worry about all this second round mumbo jumbo another day. But for right now, of course, Alabama and Oklahoma, they have kicked off and are playing currently right now. And then tomorrow we have our Saturday triple header. We have JMU at Oregon, Tulane at Ole Miss, and Miami at Texas A&M. So obviously, Tyler and I, over the past few weeks, have, voiced our opinions on how these brackets work out so far. So, Tyler, let's just roll this out now. Let's get into this game that's currently going on. Bama, Oklahoma. How you feeling? I mean, Oklahoma does have a win over Alabama this year, but in my opinion, both teams coming into the playoff, not necessarily playing their best football.
Yeah, they're both coming in. They don't really have momentum on their sides.
Wait till you see this.
Sam's but anyway, spoil the whole game because he's ahead of me.
No, I'm done. Only spoiler. Anyway.
But both teams are evenly matched. No, definitely they're not playing their best football right now. But in terms of how they've played throughout the year, yeah, Oklahoma had to survive without Mateer for quite a few weeks, and they've managed to do pretty well without him. They're still trying to get him back into, 100% with that offense and being comfortable right where he left off. But yeah, from that throw that I just saw, he looks like he's getting back to that comfortability level again.
That's more of the catch than the throw. That's a heck of a catch.
But yeah, I mean, you wonder if it's going to play a negative effect with Bama coming into this game off of a loss for the SEC championship.
I just don't know. This really is going to come down to which team. Oh my gosh. Oh, did Matrix get on top of that? Yes, he did. Wow. I didn't even realize that live. But no, Oklahoma's
Wow.
offense, honestly, since Matier came back from the injury, they haven't looked good. He hasn't looked good necessarily. Like Alabama, don't get me wrong, Alabama doesn't look much better. Now, again, Oklahoma did beat Alabama a few weeks ago, but the Sooners offense, ever since he went down with that injury, they have not looked the same. It's mostly him. He doesn't look the
Yeah.
same since being hurt. So I don't know. The one thing we could say is the Sooners defense they've been remarkable all year. So I honestly think Oklahoma's defense can keep them in this game clearly. The Alabama's offense is very one-dimensional. There was a weird rumor going around that Ty Simpson has a back injury that he's been battling. I'm not sure how accurate or how serious it is, but I mean, from what I've seen out of Alabama the past, I'd say month and a half of football, I could see it because they haven't played much better either. The problem with Alabama this year is now Jam Miller is back tonight for this game, but they have not been able to run the football consistently all season.
No. And even before Jam Miller went out with injury, it was still tough for them to get yards on the ground.
Oh, I 100% agree. Yeah, no, they haven't looked the same at all. They have not. This is not the normal Bama that you're used to. That's well balanced offense. It is basically Ty Simpson and whatever their wide receivers could do.
Yeah.
I just don't know how. I'm not sure how I feel about either of these teams. Like both teams' offenses have not looked great. And well, right now, I mean, Oklahoma looks pretty good right now. They're driving down the field, but
yeah.
I'm just not sure. I mean, eventually, oh boy. Now, see, this is now Bama's defense is starting to play a little bit better. But yeah, I just don't know which team I like in this matchup. Like they're both evenly matched. I think Oklahoma, their offense, in my opinion, has a better shot at finding a rhythm because, like I said, I think their offense is good. It's just been so with the Matier injury that they haven't been able to get into a rhythm since he came back. I just don't know. Bama to me, I don't know about Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama, I mean, they had a good run throughout the year, showing some dominance, but you kind of saw they lost a step in that loss in the SEC championship game. They weren't playing as dominant as they were the rest of the year. Ty Simpson really doesn't look as good as he was, so maybe he really does have an injury that's lingering because he definitely fell off from being a Heisman candidate. So honestly, I'm going to go with Oklahoma for this game. I think they have enough to be able to get it done. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I don't think we see more than 30 total points.
30 total points.
Yeah, I could see a 17-10 kind of game.
Okay, so you're saying you're basically saying you trust Alabama's defense more to win in this game than you do with their offense.
I trust Oklahoma and their defense more to make enough plays to get them to win. Because I don't think Oklahoma's offense is that much better. But I think they can make just enough plays, and I think their defense might be able to hold out a little bit more.
Really? So you're going Oklahoma. You're going with the Sooners. Okay. This is tough because I love Ty Simpson. Like I love watching Ty Simpson play football. I think he's a really good quarterback. I think he's got potential at the next level. The issue is, again, is they have not looked good. They haven't looked good in a while. Like, yeah, we had them stretches. They had that big stretch early in the year where they won all those ranked games,
Yeah.
including they started by winning that game at Georgia. This is
Yeah.
not the same. This is not the same Alabama team that I saw play in Athens earlier in the season. They
I'll
don't
let
look
you
the same.
know the last game that they played well.
Oh,
When they beat Tennessee.
which was the
Yeah,
end of that 4-week
exactly.
run of pure dominance over ranked
Because then
opponents.
they barely survived South Carolina, which South Carolina, they're a tough opponent, but they were unranked.
Yeah, but South Carolina has played a lot of teams tough this year.
They have LSU, who they were on their downfall, their down spiral. They beat them 20-9.
They've been on a down spiral since you got the notification they hired Brian Kelly. Oh, wow. Jam Miller, first carry, 3 Sooners right in the backfield.
Yeah. So there goes that. And then, lost to Oklahoma. They beat Eastern Illinois, which you should. They scraped by Auburn by a touchdown. And then they lost. Well, I should say they got blown out in the SEC championship game. It's just a steady downward trajectory. Even though they were winning games, they weren't winning them as convincingly as they should.
I agree. I'm going to say this. And first of all, what's up to our friends over at the 302 Birds for commenting in? Happy Friday to you guys. Let me ask you something here. I know Bernard, their other wide receiver, has been really good. Have you felt that Ryan Williams has been a little disappointing this year?
Yes. From the phenom freshman that we saw last year, he didn't really follow up on that. And not for a lack of having a good quarterback, because Ty Simpson's been great. So you kind of look at it and you're like, well, what happened? I mean, it's just supposed to be the next big thing. And then he's the second best receiver on Alabama.
That ball's got to be caught. Low throw, but it's a good throw. That's only where his receiver can catch it. Yeah, like I honestly, I expect. I don't want to say I expected Ryan Williams to come out and beat Jeremiah Smith in the SEC. I'm not saying that. I will say that, for an 18-year-old kid, I mean, kid was 17 playing last year. For an 18-year-old kid to be going against SEC talent, that's a tough thing. I just expected a little more. Don't get me wrong. I know Bernard's been really good as well, but I expected Ryan Williams to have a lot more of an impact. Now, that being said, he may go off for 10 catches for $150 tonight and a couple tutties, and we'll be completely talking differently come next week. But I just feel like I expected more from him this year, and especially with a team. I definitely expected more from him this year for a team that you saw early on in the season. They just can't run the football. So I expect the ball to be in the hands of their playmakers. So I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little overcritical of an 18-year-old kid. I just expected a little more.
I expected more just based off of how well he did as a freshman.
Oh, I agree.
I thought this was a great situation. Great quarterback with Ty Simpson, and maybe it's not all Ryan Williams' fault. I mean, they distribute the ball around their offense pretty evenly. Obviously, you said Bernard. He's the leading receiver. He's got 762 yards on the year, 7 touchdowns. And then you got Isaiah Horton. He's got 430, and he's got 8 touchdowns. Their tight end, 341. He's got 4 touchdowns. Then they have another receiver that's almost 362 yards. So it's not just a 2 receiver group. It's not just a couple of guys getting the most targets. They have a lot of different playmakers on that offense, and Ty Simpson does do a good job of getting the ball to everybody. The one thing I will say for Ryan Williams, he does lead the team in yards per catch at 15.
Yeah, so, I will say that the one thing I will say is he is their downplay threat, and there have been instances this year where Ty Simpson had him And, you brought that South Carolina game up a little bit ago, and there was a couple of deep balls in that game that Williams would have had probably 2 50-yard touchdown receptions, and Simpson just flat out missed them.
Yeah. So I don't fully put it on him.
All right. So you're going Oklahoma. I'm going to stick with you. I'm going to agree. I'm going to go with Oklahoma as well. Oh, Kyler Murray's in the house. But it's not because I think Oklahoma and Alabama both have one big problem right now. Is that both these teams' offenses have not been consistent in basically 2 months. I am picking Oklahoma because ever since I've watched them play, ever since when they played Michigan early in the year, I have loved this Sooner defense. Their front seven is just so physical and so aggressive. I just love watching them play. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma. I think their offense will do just enough to get this win. So I'm going to go with give me Boomer Sooner. As one of those comments earlier said, Boomer Sooner. So
Boomer Sooner. Yeah, I heard the fans chanting before the game. That played into my decision a little bit too.
That, and you really got to take in the home field advantage in these playoff games.
Yeah.
Like, I understand, like, Bama may some way have a better roster. Maybe Bama has a better roster in Oklahoma. I'm not really sure how much of that I would say, but, more than anything, it's college football.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very rarely, unless you're Penn State, then when the top 5 team comes in, you soil yourself. But hopefully those days are over. But, look, and then you got Oregon. They lost to Indiana earlier this year, but Indiana's the best team in the country. All right, let's pull that bracket up again real quick. Let's dive into some more of these. Let's go. Where do you want to go, Tyler? Pick one of the games you want to start with.
Oh, let's see. Oregon's on a bye week. So.
Sorry, Anthony.
Let's go Tulane, Ole Miss.
Okay. Won't lie. Haven't watched a thing about Tulane all year, so guess what? But now the question, do you think Tulane has a smidge? Oh, that's a bad miss by Matier. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's where I'm talking about. That cannot. These are the plays you can't miss in a playoff game.
That's the touchdown right there.
Do you think the Lane Kiffin absence is pivotal enough to where Tulane could possibly do it? Do you think it's possible?
It might. It definitely might have an impact.
Now, I do love the Ole Miss pulling the double standard that, Lane, you disgust us. You're never allowed back to our school. Oh, but the offensive coordinator can come back and coach. I love how Ole Miss allows that.
Yeah.
Like the OC won't be recruiting people over there for Lane while he's coaching.
Exactly.
I'm going to... Dude, I can't do it. I'm sticking with Ole Miss. I don't know why. Tulane's had a good run. If there's any game that could go differently, it could be this one because, again, I do think the Lane Kiffin effect will somewhat affect them, but I don't know, dude. I feel like the Rebels
It could affect the morale, but realistically, it's not like we're talking about Ole Miss playing Oklahoma or Alabama.
Exactly.
The morale isn't going to get that trained to where they can't beat Tulane. Tulane, you had a great season for your conference. Congratulations. I'm sorry you're not moving on.
Yeah, I agree.
This is where it ends.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. I'm going with the Rebels. I think that Pete Golding getting the head coach job, I think that's going to really fire that team up. They really wanted him to get that job, so.
Yep.
No, yeah, I'm going with the Rebels. I'm not messing around with this Tulane thing. I do think the Lane Kiffin thing's a nice little thought process, but again, like it's almost just a more talented team.
They are.
So yeah, I'm gonna rock. I'm rocking with the Rebels this week. All right, Tyler. I guess let's get this out of the way, please. Let's get this out of the way. Oregon JMU.
Oregon.
Yeah,
Oregon by 25.
Oregon could start their backups, and I picked them to win this game.
Let's see, what is the point spread for this?
I think it's 21.5.
Looks like 21.5. Yeah, I'm taking the over.
Oh, I feel bad. I haven't even been looking at the spreads. Holy crap. 20.5.
20.5.
Oh, there goes Mates here to the end zone. Yeah, points spread for Oregon and James Madison is 20.5. The point spread for Tulane and Ole Miss is 17.5.
Interesting.
I forget what the point spread
is. Runs it in.
Well, again, their passing offense since he came back hasn't been very consistent, but he can still run the football. So
he's good with his legs. Definitely, he's got to settle in and get that accuracy under control.
The closing spread on this game was -1.5, so very close spread.
Rightfully so.
And now I'm going to bring the bracket up one last time. Matt, Brian, if you're watching, look away. Let's talk about the Notre Dame Bowl there at the bottom.
Oh, no.
Hey, well, those are the two teams
that's not going to happen?
Hey, those are the two teams responsible for Notre Dame not being in.
Yeah. Good point. Because now, let me ask you this. And this is something that the college football voting committee has to think about. Look at these point spreads. Oregon JMU, -20.5. Tell me what you think the point spread would be between Notre Dame and Oregon. 2? If that?
Maybe 3.5 because they always, and this goes for both the NFL and college, the home team always, for some reason, gets that 3 points, that 3-point odds.
And they would have had the better record.
Any football game that has a 3.5 or lower point spread is a toss-up.
Yeah. You gotta think of it in terms of that.
Well, now wait. Now you're asking me about Oregon. I'm going to take a very big gamble and say this. I think if Notre Dame was playing Ole Miss, I think Notre Dame may be favored in that game.
I would favor them because of the head coach turnaround.
If that's my point. If that's where the Lane Kiffin thing comes into effect.
That's a team that would concern me now.
I think Notre Dame would have a shot against Oregon. I think they have a better shot with the Rebels because of the Lane Kiffin thing. But yeah, I think Notre Dame would be favored against Ole Miss. I really do. And again, like I said, this is not. I get what the committee's trying to do. They're trying to feel good stories. They're trying to have a Cinderella. There is too much of a talent drop off in some of these conferences. Yeah, if you want that, you need to have 16 teams, and we're not in the business of that.
Yeah.
It has to be the committee votes who are the 12 best teams in college football. Oh, well, JMU's not going to get a chance. Okay, so they're going to play a bowl game instead of getting blown out in the first round.
Yeah, they could have at least played a bowl game where they would have had a chance. Maybe they could have played Tulane in a bowl game.
Yeah, right, exactly.
2 conference championships from no, don't go that far, Sam.
BYU's doing that.
Well, yeah. BYU is still a more respectable team, I would say. I view the Pop-Tart Bowl as it's the consolation of you just missed the playoffs.
Oh yeah, because it used to be ones like the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, but the problem is the playoff needs those bowls now. So
they don't need it. They chose
to play the game somewhere.
Yeah, they chose to. They could do these in NFL stadiums and stuff. They could find other places to do these. They didn't need to take all these top bowl games and throw them in there. I guess it's more of a reward for advancing throughout the playoffs. I guess that's how you're looking at it. Because these teams, they get money, the schools, for being in these bowl games, right?
It's like a consolation prize. Like, hey, I didn't win the national title, but hey, I was in the playoff and I won the Rose Bowl.
Because then if you take it out, then they're really just playing for, can we actually make it to the championship? But if you fall short, then you get no bowl game. So it's probably just playing meaningless football at that point.
I remember when we were in the Rose Bowl in 2016, and Sam Darnold and Saquon Barkley went at each other. That was one of the greatest Rose Bowls I ever watched. Granted, I'm a little young there. Oh, boy. Here comes that Sooner defense. All right, but yeah, A&M and Miami. How do you feel about this one? I'm going to take it back. This is the game where I think the road team possibly could pull this off.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Because obviously A&M gets favored heading into this. But I'm still big on Miami. I know they've had a couple of lapses this year. Still don't know how they got snubbed from the ACC championship. We're not even going to get into that. We'll be here for an hour.
That's all we have.
But Carson Beck, still a good quarterback. Still having a good year. Had some rough games, but still having a good year. In regards to running the ball, they're kind of even. But it's more so which quarterback is going to beat you. Honestly, I think Miami has the wow factor.
You know, that's the thing. Like, this is one of the hardest games to pick, not because of who should be in and who should not be in. I'm not listening to the crybabies anymore. Okay, the playoff is set. You can't do nothing about it. You're getting that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing this crap. Marcel Reed has had a really strong year. I have seen A&M be able to win games where Reed has struggled because they can run the football pretty solid. I mean, the question I have, they're averaging 192.7 rushing yards a game. Now, Brad, that's 20. See, here's where you can't take anything in the college football is that, A&M is 25th in FBS in rushing yards a game. That's because there's 130,000 teams.
Yeah.
But Miami is 7th in rushing yards allowed. Now, Ruben Bain on that Miami D-line is a big reason why they're pretty good. Miami's defense, listen to these numbers. They are 11th in total yards allowed per game. They're 23rd in passing yards. They're 7th in rushing yards. They're 6th in the country in points allowed. And they're 9th on third down percentage. Okay, you know what, Notre Dame? Really stop crying. Miami 100% deserved to be in this.
Oh, they did, without a doubt.
The question I have with Miami, which Carson Beck do I get? That will be the make or break of this game. Yep. A&M's defense, between A&M's defense and their ability to solidly run the football is why if their quarterback struggles, they are able to still win games. I don't know if Carson Beck struggles, can Miami do the same? The question I will have is which Carson Beck am I getting in this game? Because A&M's got a really good defense too. Just some numbers on A&M's defense real quick. Let me pull that right back up here. 19th in total yards, 15th in passing yards. They are actually 38th in rushing yards allowed per game, so that's not great. They're actually 41st in points. Okay, maybe A&M's defense isn't that good. Holy crap. But they're the number one team in the country on third down percentage.
Okay. So Carson Beck and Miami on third down is going to be a big thing to watch out for. I mean, I'm looking at Miami's games from this year. I mean, their lowest amount of points that they scored that came in a loss was 20 when they got upset by SMU. And then the other loss was 21 against Louisville, and they lost that game by 3. Both losses were within one possession. I think Miami puts it together and they come out with the victory on the road. I'm taking the underdog.
I hate to say it, I think I'm going to have to go with A&M. I like Carson Beck. I like Miami, but Carson Beck is such a wild card that it's just hard for me to pick because I have seen Carson Beck look great, and then I've seen Carson Beck look like Carson Beck. Oh, Ty Simpson. Oh, good Lord. Ty Simpson's running for his life. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with A&M in this one. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think Miami's defense will keep them in it. I think Beck, again, he's my wild card. I think he'll be able to make some plays. It's just, can he make them when they are needed?
Yeah.
A&M is a good team, and I am gonna roll with A&M. Now they are a team. They lost to Texas. Their defense shut them down pretty well. They haven't looked awesome either, but I'm gonna roll with A&M. How did he not? I mean, all right, he did block it, but how did that thing not get punched into the end zone? Man, holy crap. Oklahoma's playing with some juice in this game.
They are. It's going to be an
looks like the
interesting
team that
game
got blown.
if we get Oklahoma, Indiana.
That would be that's gonna be a fun matchup. But all right, brother, you ready to get into these NFL games?
Let's do it.
We gave college football playoff a half hour already.
I'm ready to talk about the New York Jets and the New Orleans Saints.
You mean the Fernando Mendoza Bowl?
Yes.
All right.
No. That belongs to the New York Giants because apparently, according to a certain someone on FS1, Sam, your buddy, he devised a plan of why the Giants should trade Jackson Dart to go after Fernando Mendoza. And I put my phone away. I saw that and just put the phone away.
Couldn't you save that for Monday?
Put the phone away.
Why couldn't you?
It was so outrageous. It was so outrageous. We got to bring it up now.
What's up, Clint?
What's up, Clint?
Tyler,
what the hell's wrong with him? Sometimes he makes sense. Other times it's like he just lost his mind.
You're talking about Colin Cowherd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, just hear me out for a second before you say anything. All I'm going to say is the only guy that advocated for Jackson Dart is no longer in that building. That's all I'm going to say. The only guy that desperately that was sold on Jackson Dart isn't in the building anymore. Not to mention, I'd be concerned with a guy who has been to the medical tent as much as he has already. Well, that's got nowhere near what the amount what I just said. The guy who wanted Jackson Dart is not in the building anymore. And if Joe Shane wants to save his job, he may do it.
He'll get fired.
What?
He's going to get fired.
Why? They could package something pretty solid together with the amount of defensive talent that they have, along with Dart. They could make something out of that.
I'm looking at it from a player's standpoint. Think about the close relationship that he's built with Cam Scadaboo.
Okay.
He's
Well,
probably
then
got he
rookie.
probably built a decent chemistry with Neighbors before he got hurt. He brought hope back to these New York Giants fans, Sam.
Okay.
I don't think he's I just think it's ridiculous.
I'm not saying it's
I
not.
don't
And Clint, what I'm saying is I'm not basing it solely of he's got 12 concussions already. All my biggest point that I'm trying to make here is I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm also not saying I disagree because once again, the guy who wanted Dart the most is no longer in the building. Joe Shane did not want Jackson Dart. Go watch the freaking video.
yeah, and if he wanted some of the other bums. He probably would have rather take Dylan Gabriel in the first
Okay, but
round.
you and I, okay, Tyler, but let's be real. If you're doing this to get a Fernando Mendoza, I don't think we're disagreeing that Mendoza is going to be a franchise
Nobody
player.
knew. Hold on, say that again.
I know you're saying that. He may have wanted to get. How do we? Everybody swore they wanted Shador Sanders, and they were like, "Well, that was cute. We never said that."
So you were saying they want that Joe Shane would have wanted to take a worse quarterback in the first round as a stopgap?
No, but you're saying that he probably wanted another one of these bums. What are you referring to?
Oh, I mean, if the Giants would have picked any other quarterback aside from Jackson Dart and he was on the board, they would have been idiots.
Yes, I agree with that. But I'm still going to say it once again. I don't care who they took. Joe Shane did not want Jackson Dart.
Well, Joe Shane's not going to be around for much longer, so.
Clearly he is. I know what I am referring to is I understand that, we fall in love with guys that, first of all, I don't care about the relationship he's built with Cam Scadaboo. Cam Scadaboo's played 6 games in the NFL. He's a long way from commanding anything in an NFL organization.
Well,
If I got the... Hold on. I like Jackson Dart. But Fernando Mendoza is going to be a franchise player for somebody. All I'm saying is, as an Eagles fan, I would much rather the Giants keep Jackson Dart. I don't want the Giants to get Fernando Mendoza.
So tell me this: we're basing Fernando Mendoza being. Let me start this off differently. Hold on. I want to start by saying I think Fernando Mendoza is a tremendous player, and he is very talented, and he works hard. I'm going to follow that up by saying we're going to say that we are positive that he's going to be a franchise quarterback for a team based off of one very successful year.
I mean, Jackson
I
Dart was
don't want to
only
be the one to say it, but we've seen players before who have their shine and that doesn't last in the NFL. I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to be the case. But why would you? I think Jackson Dart has done a good job think about how he was supposed to sit on the bench this year, at least for half the season, maybe more. And after a few games, Dable was like, all right, this isn't going to work. Get out there, kid. And I thought he's done a really good job being thrown out there so early in his rookie year. And I think there's a lot of promise there. And then he loses their number one receiver. Loses who did become their number one running back.
Don't forget the development they've had this year of Wan'Dale Robinson becoming the wide receiver too.
Yeah.
Now they're going to have to pay him this offseason, unfortunately, but I would do it 100%. Not to mention, they finally unlocked the potential of Theo Johnson at tight end. It only took freaking 3 years.
So you're going to risk all that chemistry being built with a young group of players. They're all young. To hit the reset switch, essentially, bring in another guy that you want to try to build as the next guy. What if he doesn't work out?
First of all, again, I'm going to say it. I am not saying that Jackson Dart is going to be I think Jackson Dart's going to be a very good quarterback. All I pointed out to start this conversation was Joe Shane didn't want him.
Okay, that's fair. But guess
That's
what?
where I'm at.
If I'm the owner, I'm telling him, you trade him, you're fired before the season starts.
Joe Shane should be fired for the lack of additions and development amongst their offensive line.
He should, but he's still around. If I was Mara, I would not allow him to do that. I'd have to step in.
The Titans fired their GM the week after the A.J. Brown went off against them in 2022. As soon as they got back to Nashville, he said, "You."
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm going to trade Jackson Dart in a package. All I'm saying is there is a chance again because, again, Joe Shane wasn't fully in on him. That's all I was going with.
Guess what? Nobody's fully in on Joe Shane. So he can kick rocks, roll a dart, and try to build something around him.
You mean throw a dart?
I mean, if he's throwing darts, he's probably going to miss.
He doesn't need to throw a dart. He has Jackson. First of all, Joe Shane's kids are better GMs than him. We saw that from the freaking Hard Knocks footage from last year.
Point in case.
And like I said, I'm not saying I'm trading Jackson Dart. All I'm saying is, first of all, the other thing we have to understand here, the one thing I'm going to disagree with you on here is you're sitting here about Mendoza. First of all, Mendoza's been the consensus #1 overall pick in this draft all season. Jackson Dart was going to be a second-round pick if the Giants didn't trade up for him. So don't sit there and tell me that. Jackson Dart was never a #1 overall pick type. Mendoza to me is.
Who was the #1 pick?
What, last year?
Yeah.
Who was last year?
#1 quarterback pick. Are you talking about like #1 of the draft or first quarterback off the board? Oh, okay.
Like I'm saying, I don't want to look in terms of college quarterbacks. I'm taking Mendoza this year has been better than what Dart was at Ole Miss. That's what I'm saying. One guy's a Heisman winner. Come on. But anyway, let's hop into these NFL games because it's been we've been over 40 minutes, haven't talked about one of them yet. We kick things off, Tyler, on Saturday, 5 p.m. The Eagles at the Commanders. Eagles are -7 favorites on the road. No Lane Johnson still, no Jalen Carter still. By the way, we did get a report today. Andrew McCuba, we got a report earlier this week from Vic Fangio. Even though Andrew McCuba is in line he could be activated from IR. It doesn't sound like he's going to be. It sounds like his season is over. So, Thank you, Sidney Brown. Now, for the Commanders, they're Laramie Tunsil out with an oblique injury. Left practice the other day shortly after it started, and that oblique apparently got a little too dinged up. So I hope Marcus Mariota can go back to his old Oregon days and run for his life. But so yeah, for the Eagles, no Jalen Carter, no Lane Johnson, and for the Commanders, no Laramie Tunsil. Those are your key injuries for this game.
They're also down Eddie Goldman too.
Eddie Goldman's like 100 years old.
Hey, you got to go there.
And they're down. I think they're down. I think Newton, their other defensive tackle, is questionable. So another thing. But Jaden Daniels out for the season. Zach Ertz done for the season. Tyler, how we feeling?
This is a Commanders team that's just trying to survive. I get our frustrations we've had over the last few weeks with the Eagles. And we were happy that they handled the Raiders the way they were supposed to. I don't see any way that they lose this game.
If they do, I'm going to be pissed.
If they do, there's a problem. I don't want to hear it's an in-division game. I don't want to hear that. This team is not fit. That Commanders team is not fit to compete. We need to make that a new designation for teams, and they can forfeit the game. Not fit to compete.
My whole team is on IR. I can't do this. Give me the Eagles. Let's go win the NFC East.
Yeah, wrap it up. We got to play the Commanders twice in the next 3 weeks. Get a head start on it now. Get it
and
done.
I mean,
I don't see Washington scoring more than 14. If they even find the end zone that many times. You know what? 13. I see them scoring 1 touchdown and a couple of field goals. Whole game.
I will say, though, I am a little concerned about Deebo Samuel in this game. Adoree Jackson has been very good lately, but Adoree Jackson is not very good as a tackler, so I don't want to see them get
got
Deebo
Cooper
the ball. Cooper
DeJean will track you. He'll track you down and tackle you anywhere on the field.
Oh, I'm not saying he won't. I don't want to see Adoree Jackson attempt to tackle Deebo Samuel. That's all I'm saying.
He'll be all right.
And, of course, the big matchup will be whoever, I don't know who Washington's backup left tackle is, but going against that Eagles front, even without Jalen Carter, that defense has played really well since he went down the past 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, they have.
By the way, Bud, how'd Ashton Genty do last Sunday? I forgot to ask you that, by the way.
No, we talked about it on the show.
Well, good. I want to ask you again.
Because I reiterated what I was expecting that game to be. I was expecting that game to be a full-on snow game.
Well, I will give Ashton Genty credit. I believe he accounted for almost 50% of the Raiders' total yards in that game.
Yeah, probably. That wasn't hard to do.
All right, moving on to the second game of our Saturday doubleheader. We have the Bears hosting the Packers. The Bears are -1.5 at home. Of course, we already know, no Micah Parsons. So Zach Tom, questionable with a back injury. Evan Williams, their safety, is questionable with a knee injury. Let me look here. Dontavian Wicks is questionable with an ankle injury. Darian Kennard is questionable with a neck injury. He's their backup swing tackle. Josh Jacobs questionable with the knee injury. Christian Watson is questionable with a chest injury. Does Green Bay have any healthy players?
Man.
And for Chicago is actually getting a boost. Now, they are down a few pass catchers. Luther Burden and Rome Odunze are both out this week. Burden has an ankle injury. Odunze has a foot injury. Cole Kmet is questionable with an ankle injury. DeAndre Swift is questionable with a groin injury. But there is a little bit of help on the way for Chicago. They are activating linebacker Tremaine Edmonds from IR. So he will be making his return tomorrow. Tyler, good Lord, how do you feel about this one?
I feel good predicting this one. I think there's going to be one big key to this game, and I think it's the same as when they faced them just a few weeks ago. It was, 2 weeks ago. I think it's going to come down to, can Green Bay slow down and limit their rushing game, which I still think they can do even though they lost Micah Parsons. That defense as a whole has done a great job of holding teams under 100 rushing yards each game. And with how many injuries the Bears have with the receiving unit, and with Swift being questionable, if Swift doesn't play, I don't see how the Bears are going to move the football that much. And if he does play, how much is that injury going to hinder him? Now, I do know they go with the 1-2 punch between him and Monangai. But I'm gonna take the bet that Green Bay is gonna slow down that rushing attack. They're gonna put it on Caleb Williams again to have to beat them. And now Caleb Williams being down some playmakers and pass catchers, I don't know how well it's gonna fare for him.
Yes, but Caleb Williams also doesn't have to worry about somebody running him down in the pocket anymore.
That is true. Well, hopefully that other guy, the other pass rusher that they got back from injury a few weeks ago,
Gar-
hopefully he can provide a boost in the absence.
Gary and Van Ness have been fine. Gary's had a good solid year. Van Ness has been a disappointment, but
Yeah.
they're not. Again, you can say that, but they're not Micah Parsons. Like no one here is Micah Parsons. Not to mention, not only is Micah Parsons out, they're also without Devontae Wyatt for the rest of the year, who's one
True.
of their
Yeah.
bigger interior defensive linemen. I don't know how they're going to stop the Bears consistently on all fronts without this. Even if Swift plays and Komet plays, at least like they could start to operate. They still got DJ Moore. They still have Colston Loveland. If Komet plays, they can at least try to run the offense through their tight ends. But I just don't know what they're. Oh dear Lord, this is a rout. I don't know how the Packers can. I don't know if the Packers can overcome Micah Parsons' injury. I really don't. And I hate to say that because I love this Packers team, but
In the long term, as far as competing in the NFC, I agree. For this game in particular, I think Green Bay sweeps the series. And in doing
because
so,
it's gonna.
takes control of the NFC North.
I don't disagree. I mean, this is going to come. This is going to have to be a big game for Jordan Love. That's where we're at here. This is going to have to be a big game for Jordan Love. But they're another team that has a banged up offense. Watson's banged up. Jacobs is banged up.
Now, Watson hasn't been their best receiver. He's made big plays for them, but he hasn't been their main guy.
Who has been?
Dobbs. They've all collectively been a part of the receiving unit. They haven't had a guy who's stood out. They don't have a true number one, in my opinion.
No, but Watson is their guy that makes big plays down the field.
Yes, he's their downfield player.
I've seen plenty of Green Bay Packers film with Reed and Dobbs, and it's not the prettiest thing in the world. I mean, yes, Dobbs probably has a lot of numbers. I would assume he does. He's probably been the most targeted because he's the only guy that's been on the field all season. This offense misses Tucker Kraft so much. They're just he's such a big part of it. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Packers. I don't like the spread. 1.5 as the home team. I don't like it. I'm going with the Packers.
Yeah, me neither. I'm telling you, the Packers' run defense still holding up. They do a good job at stopping it, and Chicago's success relies on the run game flowing.
Okay, you're saying it's still holding up. We haven't seen the defense on the field yet without number 11.
Well, while I've made the defense that I don't think Micah Parsons is a hindrance to the run defense, like Jerry Jones claims he was, a liability. He clearly wasn't. But I still think they're going to be good at stopping the run without him. As far as getting after the quarterback, that's taken a huge hit. But I think
then again, that's
will hold up.
That's where guys like Rashawn Gary and Lucas Van Ness have to step up.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. So we're both going with Go Pack Go in this one.
Yep.
All right. Next up, let's move on to Sunday. Let's get into these 1:00 games. Next up, we got the Bills at the Browns. Bills minus 10.5 on the freaking road. Checking on the injuries in Buffalo. Buffalo's actually pretty healthy here. Defensive tackle Jordan Phillips is out with an ankle injury. That's pretty much it. Over on the Cleveland side, still no Dylan Sampson, out with a hand injury. Denzel Ward is out still. Is out this week with a calf injury, so not having your CB1 out there is going to hurt.
Yeah.
Still no David Njoku with that knee injury. No Jack Conklin with a concussion. And Wyatt Teller is questionable with a calf injury. Yeah, give me the Bills. And why are we? I'm not going to stay on this too much. Give me the Bills.
There's nothing to talk about. Bills have a nice, easy game here.
All right, next up, we got the Cowboys hosting the Chargers. Cowboys minus 2.5 point favorites at home, heading over to some of these injuries. Safety RJ Mickens is out for the Chargers with a shoulder injury. Let me see here. Tier Tart, their defensive tackle, is questionable with a shin injury. Bud Dupree is questionable with a back injury. Quentin Johnston is questionable with a groin injury. Elijah Molden is questionable with a hamstring. And offensive lineman Trey Pipkins is questionable with that ankle injury he suffered in the game against Philly a couple weeks ago. For Dallas, oh boy. Deron Bland out with a foot injury. There are reports that he may require another surgery on that foot.
That's all.
Tyler Guyton out with an ankle injury. Quentin Williams questionable with a concussion. Kalen Carson questionable with a shoulder injury. And Trayvon Diggs is still out and doesn't look like he'll be returning anytime soon. Tyler, how do we feel about this game? Some banged up squads.
I feel outraged that the Cowboys were favorited. What were they, 2.5 points, you said, or 1.5?
2.5.
2.5 point favorites? I get it, it's not a big spread, but give me a break. The Chargers are 10-4, still playing good football. They're 4-2 on the road this year.
They're coming off back-to-back wins against last year's Super Bowl opponents.
Yeah. They got Amar in Hampton back. That helped their offense. So now they got him and Vidal as the duo from hell. Herbert's still playing well. I'm sorry. I just don't see how Dallas is going to win this game.
Chargers defense.
I get the sentiment. Oh, Jerry Jones is Dallas Cowboys at home. They're not going to lose. Give me a break. They're probably going to lose this game. They'll probably lose in an ugly fashion, and they'll get knocked out of contention in their home stadium.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they lose or if the Eagles win, the division's a wrap. So,
yep. And the Chargers are also playing for something big this week, too. If they win, they clinch the playoff spot. Still got some work to do if they want to win the division.
Oh, good luck with that. Denver hasn't lost a game in almost 2 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, no, I think it's only 3 months.
Do they play each other at all to end the year? I can let you know. They do. Last game of the season.
Oh, that's going to be a good one.
And Denver's upcoming games, they got Jacksonville, Kansas City, which without Mahomes, they're not a threat now.
Minshew mania, baby.
No. So Jacksonville could provide us an upset for the Broncos, who've been so hot this year. And if that happens, that opens the door for the Chargers and them to face off for the division, the last game of the year. Because, mind you, the Chargers also hold a victory over them in Week 3.
That is true. I just want to say, can we really give, I feel like every award in the NFL now, like MVP, is basically just who is the best quarterback.
Yeah.
So, Bruiser, I'm not disagreeing with that take at all. No, I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
And if we can get New England versus Denver for the AFC Championship, that'd be a hell of a match.
The coach of the year this year, in my opinion, is Jim Harbaugh. Because just think of this, right? You lose Brayshawn Slater before the season even gets here.
Mm-hmm.
You lose Joe Alt 6 games into the season. You sign Mekhi Becton to help stable the interior of that offensive line. He has not been good. I hate saying that. I love Mekhi, but he has not been good. They have had injury after injury. Herbert, Hampton. I mean, the wide receivers have actually stayed pretty healthy. The defense has been relatively healthy, but what they've been able to do just to craft out ways to win. If you were an offense that lost both starting tackles that were that caliber, that's a death to some team's season. Go look at the Chiefs. They can't find a tackle. You see the Eagles when Lane Johnson doesn't play. Even though I will give a shout out. Fred Johnson's been fine. I'll give him that. Fred's been fine, but he's not Lane. But the fact that Jim Harbaugh has found a way to maneuver around both those two being out for the whole year and have the Chargers still in a really good shot at being a chance of winning the AFC West is remarkable. Also, I'm not picking a team that just lost to J.J. McCarthy. Give me the freaking Chargers.
Agreed.
Next up, Saints hosting the Jets. Saints are -6.
The Jets are playing with who the hell knows at quarterback. Give me the Saints, too. Who?
Give me the Saints.
You know that's not Tom Brady, right?
It's not even Connor Cook. Shout out Michigan State. Yeah, I'm gonna ride and go with the Saints here. I'm not gonna go too far into looking into this. Next up, here we go. Here's a good matchup for you. Battle for the NFC South. Bucks at the Panthers. The Bucks are -3 on the road.
Sam, if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would be at 7-7, facing off against the 7-7 Carolina Panthers, with 3 games left in the season, I'd probably tell you were crazy. Because I would have told you Tampa Bay, they're probably already at 10 wins, division's locked up, they're ready for the playoffs. And then they lose to the Falcons, who were playing for nothing.
Panthers pick up a win against the Rams.
Yeah,
but then they lose to the Saints.
Yeah, so this has honestly just been the mockery of the NFC South since Breeze retired and then since Brady retired. There has not been any consistent dominance in that division. Now, Tampa, they've been fighting a lot of injuries throughout the year. Baker's been banged up more times than I can count. They've had Bucky Irving miss felt like half the season, and they didn't even put him on IR. They just didn't know when he was coming back. Mike Evans feels like he missed most of the year too. His first non-1,000 yard receiving season. Rest in peace to the streak. But this game is such a toss-up. Both teams are so even coming into this. This is probably the first one where I'm actually stumped.
I'm going with the Panthers.
Is it bad that I don't care which team actually wins?
I'm going with the Panthers. I think their run game is going to be able to get some lanes. I have a good feeling about Ted McMillan in this matchup, and I got to give some credit, man. You want to talk about most improved players? Bryce Young has looked like an NFL quarterback this year.
He's come a long way.
Especially over the past few weeks. Now, I know they lost to the Saints last week. Once again, that's a division game. Those games are weird. Even like I know you're saying about the Commanders on Saturday. Something weird's going to happen. Yeah. It's a division game. It don't matter. I'm going with the Panthers.
Let's see. Who's at home?
Carolina.
Carolina's at home.
And they're 3-point underdogs.
Let me check something real quick for the Panthers. Hold on.
Take a look at the injuries for that game real quick, see what we're going with here. When did the Bucks play Zion McCollum on IR? Oh my God, this team can't stay healthy.
Oh, jeez.
Give it a check on the Panthers too. Tyshawn Wharton was questionable with a hamstring. He's one of their interior pass rushing defensive tackles, so that's that's an injury to keep an eye on. And basically everybody else is playing. They're relatively healthy, actually, both these teams right now, Tyler. It's just the Bucks. You feel like because the Bucks have like 1,000 players that are playing hurt, so
I'm gonna say I would like the Panthers to win, but I'm going with the Buccaneers. I got a feeling that the Bucks are going to come into this game with some urgency. I think Bucky Irving is going to have his first big game of the year. I think he's going to do a lot to carry this offense and this team to the victory. We back?
I think we're back.
Oh, man. Restream died on us.
Yeah, we lost connection for a minute there.
Yeah.
I think we're still going, though.
Yeah. Looks like it's still going. The show continues without us.
All right, guys. Sorry about that little technical glitch there, but we're still here. Yep, everything's still running. Stream is still going. All right, guys. So you watch this back. Sorry for the little glitch that we had there. We got disconnected for a quick second. All right, Tyler. Let's continue this real quick. Let's try to hurry this up so we don't have that happen again. Yep, I'm just real quick. Everything seems to be a stream is still going. So, guys, if you have a little bit of a little freeze out in the middle of this, we apologize for that. Next up, Tyler, Giants hosting the Vikings. The Vikings are 2.5-point favorites.
It's kind of low.
How do you feel about that?
The Giants are 2-12. At this point, I think the Giants are playing for the number 1 pick. I don't see them trying to win this game. Give me the Vikings.
You going with the Vikings? Okay. I'm going to go with the Vikings. I'm going to go with you. J.J. McCarthy's starting to play a little bit better, so.
Yeah, and guess who hasn't?
Nobody on the Giants. Oh, good Lord.
Trouble in the kingdom? Who knows?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All right, next up, Bengals at the Dolphins. This is basically a battle of the two quarterbacks that may not be on their same team next year.
Oh, man.
Bengals are -4 on the road.
Oh.
Now, remember, this is I saw it.
He finally got a good throw down the field and he drops it. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, Bruiser. Bama's not doing themselves any favor in this game to say, hey, yeah, we belonged in the playoff.
They're getting off the field right now, so we'll see. They could put up some more points before half. Still got a game.
That is true. Tyler, Quinn Ewers is the starter for the Dolphins this week.
I'm a bit shocked, to say the least.
I'm not.
I mean, yeah, I know. Tua's stunk this year. It figures his first fully healthy year in like forever, and he stinks. But then you look at a Bengals team that just put up 0 points last week. All things aside, with the Bengals this year, they've been able to score score against teams. Let me see. How many points were they averaging this year?
I don't even know.
Averaging 22, almost 22 and a half points per game. And their opponents are averaging 31. I don't know how they got shut out. That was just atrocious.
Bruiser, Joe Burrow, 2025 Bengals starting QB, 2026 your local Cincinnati All-State agent.
Are you in good hands?
Well. I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I don't know why. I don't trust anything about this Bengals team anymore.
Give me the Dolphins, too. I mean, it's like the Bengals gave up after that Bills loss.
That deflated them.
Yeah, they won that Thanksgiving game against the Ravens. They had some hope. They were like, oh, wow, we actually may have a chance of, like, stealing our division somehow. Lose a close game to the Bills. Defense did them no favors. And then the shutout against the Ravens. That was just the stamp on it. I still don't know how they got shut out.
Again, it's the Bengals. If Joe Burrow is not absolutely perfect, then sorry, they don't stand good of a chance.
Yeah. 2 interceptions.
So, yeah, I'm going with the Dolphins.
Yeah, give me the Dolphins, too.
Next up, here we go, Tyler. Big game of the week. Broncos hosting the Jags. Broncos minus 3.5 at home.
Oh, he got popped.
Oh, he did. Damn, Bama's already down there? Holy crap.
I think they had a blocked punt. That's why.
Gotcha.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, I'll say even the Browns don't get embarrassed like that to get shut out.
Tyler, how we feel about this Broncos-Jags game?
Damn, I mean, Denver, what was it? 9-game, 10-game win streak? Something like that. Actually, 11-game win streak.
Yep. Jags have won 5.
Jags have won 5. Denver is undefeated at home this year. They've defended the home field. Man, 2 teams that are playing really good football right now. They're both hot. I don't know. I don't know how I could pick against the Broncos right now. The Broncos, over the course of this year, have shown me that no matter who they play, their defense can keep the game close and their offense can finish the job.
Yeah, and I'm going to put Trevor Lawrence right now in that same conversation that you put with Caleb. If he turns the football over at least twice in this game, then that spells problems because of how good the Broncos are defensively.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, since they acquired Jacoby Myers, they've been great. They're 5-1 in the 6 games he's played, and he's been really good. He's got like 27 catches for 355 yards, 3 touchdowns. Rats are Bears, but then the SEC, sir. Oh, good Lord. I'm going to go with the Broncos, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville found a way.
I wouldn't be surprised by that either. I'm actually kind of banking on the upset. I hope it happens because I'd like to see that division find a way to come down to Denver versus the Chargers.
Me too. I want to see that matchup in the final week of the season.
Yeah.
Next up, Tyler, the Redbird Bowl. We got the Falcons on the road against Arizona. Falcons -3 on the road.
The Redbird Bowl that no one gives a damn.
Give me the Falcons because Bijan will probably go crazy.
Yeah, Bijan will probably go off. The Cardinals just stink. And honestly, if I was the Cardinals, I'm tanking the rest of the year to try to get as close to that first overall pick as I can.
Bruiser, don't do this again.
They are very fundamentally sound.
All right. Did you say you're going with the Falcons, Tyler?
I am.
Okay. Next up, Texans at home against the Raiders. Texans are -14.
I don't think that's enough.
Oh my God. I believe it's still Kenny Pickett this week. Give me the Texans. I'm not doing
a report that Geno is still possible to play.
Okay, so
it won't matter, but I'm just throwing it out there.
So the question is still just who's getting picked off more, Geno Smith or Kenny Pickett?
Yikes!
Give me the Texans, dude. They're the hot team right now.
They are. They're
a hot team,
and now they're getting to play their tune-up game against the Raiders. Yeah, I'm calling this one 35-9.
What?
They get into field goal range 3 times.
Okay. Oh my God. Next up, Tyler. Lions hosting the Steelers. Lions are -7 at home. Still no TJ Watt. And Nick Herbig, another one of their pass rushers, is doubtful with a hamstring injury.
Man, I feel like just a few weeks ago we were talking about how the Steelers were falling off that cliff. And now they've won their way right back in the top of the AFC North. It's still a contender in the AFC. I don't think the spread is very fair. I think it should be a little closer than that.
I think it would be if Watt plays, because Watt is such an important part of that defense, and without him getting after Jared Goff, I don't know how the Steelers are going to. Because the biggest way to beat the Lions, you have to make Jared Goff uncomfortable in the pocket.
Yes, and the Steelers also have not been that good on the road this year. Yeah, I think we're going to see a big Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery game. I don't think Goff's going to be asked to do a whole lot. I think he's going to play a solid game, manage the game. I think we're going to see a heavy ground attack with Sonic and Knuckles.
I agree. I'm going with the Lions.
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions on this one.
Oh, dear.
That would be surprising.
Speaking of which, Tyler, should we have our betting update?
Yeah, let's hear it, because I think I saw a Pat Fryermuth 30-yard catch last week.
Oh, my bank account can smell it coming already. Pat Fryermuth has 352 yards to Jonnu Smith's 202.
I'm surprised he's actually at 202. You know what really hurt me in this bet? The fact that Darnell Washington overtook Jonnu Smith as tight end 2.
The fancy kind of took over tight end 1 from both of them.
Kind of, yeah. He's kind of like their
You know
main
what's
tight end.
you know what's won it for me so far was that one game in Cincinnati early that Fryermuth had like 130 yards. That's the only reason.
Yeah, couldn't have been Smith. No, Pat Friday
All right.
somehow had like a 70-yard touchdown or something like that. Ridiculous.
And to kill off Sunday, we've got Sunday Night Football, Ravens, Patriots. Ravens are -3 at home. Patriots coming off that big blown lead against the Bills. How do we feel about this one, Tyler?
I feel like the Patriots are going to bounce back.
Okay.
I think they still played a good game against Buffalo. They hung with them till the end. They gave up the lead. Josh Allen had a Josh Allen game. We've seen it multiple times this year. While they haven't been the best all year, and that's why they're still trailing in their division, Allen's provided that spark for them at times. And when he gets in that mode, he's unstoppable. He'll will them to beat any team. So losing by 4 points to the Bills, not a big deal. It doesn't derail them much in my book. I still think they're one of the strongest teams in the AFC. Yeah, give me the Patriots. I think they're going to send the Ravens packing. The Ravens are probably going to lose out on their last solid shot at winning the AFC North with a loss here. Because I don't know how they recover. They play the Patriots, Packers, and then Steelers.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Patriots, too. I thought the Ravens they don't have it this year. Lamar banged up early. There's just a whole bunch of factors into that. I'm going with the Pats.
So, Sam, real quick, I think we missed a game.
Did we?
The Chiefs and the Titans. It's not much to talk about.
Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, give me Minshew Mania against the Titans.
The Chiefs get talked about too much. They can be missed.
And they can win a game now that they're eliminated.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs. I'm not spending no time on that game.
So the Chiefs are 1-5 on the road, but the Titans are 0-7 at home. So there's the stat for you.
You didn't even need to say that they were 0-7 at home. You just had to say they're the Titans, and I would have been okay with what you were with that.
It shocks me that they've won more games on the road this year than at home. So those season ticket holders are not happy.
If there are any.
Good point.
They probably sold them. And to end the week, Tyler, Monday Night Football, 49ers at the Colts. Niners are
Wait, are you talking about
-6.
Phillip Rivers' age?
Oh God! No, I'm talking about how many kids he's going to have after he retires again.
Oh, man.
How do we feel about this one?
You know, I don't think this game is as big of a stretch as some people might think. The Colts are on a 4-game losing skid. They've also played 4 very good opponents in those last 4 weeks. They played the Chiefs back when they were still good. They were playing for that division, trying to get back in the mix of things. Played the Texans, Jags, the Seahawks. So it hasn't been easy for them. Uh-oh. Mateer got picked off. That's pick 6. Oh, and there we go. There's the game. We got it tied.
We got a game, ladies and gentlemen.
I called it. They just had to stay in it until halftime. That's going to be a good one. But yeah, I mean, Rivers played decent in his first game last week. And that's a tough opponent to play your first game against after what feels like a decade of him being retired.
He just went on the road and almost beat the team that just beat the Rams last night.
Good way of looking at it. Yes, Very good way of looking at it.
Oh, what is Matier doing? Where was he throwing that? Yikes.
What this is going to come down to is Indianapolis. I think Phillip Rivers can do enough. They need to get Jonathan Taylor back to his early season form. Because when he was going off rushing for 100 yards, 120 every game, they were unstoppable. They were dominant. Now, I get it. It takes an aspect away from their offense, losing a bit of the mobility that Daniel Jones brought to the table. And that affected them even when Jones was still playing through that injury. But I don't know.
Tyler, I don't think we need to talk about the downgrade of mobility when it comes to Daniel Jones to Phillip Rivers, okay?
I can't talk myself into Indianapolis winning this game. I'm trying to, but it's not happening. I mean,
that, and you just got to give the respect to Saleh and Shanahan and what they've been able to do this year with the Niners after battling all these injuries to their wide receivers, every key defensive player, Purdy. I'm rolling with the 49ers. And hey, if the 49ers win this game, the Rams better be careful.
Yes. Because they can get jumped.
So, I'm rolling with the Niners.
Yeah, give me the Niners.
All right, Tyler. Let's get out of here. What's your game of the week?
My game of the week was last night's game. No. I'm going to go with Green Bay and Chicago. Another battle up in the NFC North. Pretty close game before. I think it's going to be another tough one. I do think that Green Bay is going to pull out the win. I don't like all those injuries to Chicago's offense. I think it's too many. I think it makes it a lot tougher on Caleb Williams. I still don't think Caleb Williams is at that level where he can take over a game and change the outcome of it. He's a great quarterback. He's had a really good year in the second year, but he's not at that level yet. And I don't have the confidence to pick him to carry them to a victory. I'm going to roll with Jordan Love and the Packers.
Okay. My game of the week? I'm going to go back down to the CFB playoff. I'm going Miami versus Texas A&M.
Okay.
Carson Beck and the Canes on the road at A&M. I like that matchup. It's the Notre Dame Bowl, as I called it earlier. I think Miami has a good chance of pulling off the upset on the road. And we'll just see. What Carson Beck do I get?
Hopefully we get NFL-ready Carson Beck, because this is where he makes his case for how high he should be drafted.
I agree.
This playoff run here is going to be critical.
Anyway, guys, we are going to get up on out of here. We once again apologize for the little technical difficulty in the middle of the show. So if you notice us freeze out for a moment, it's very windy in our area. So seems like some of our Wi-Fi signals got messed around with a little bit, but show still got completed in its entirety. Want to thank everybody who joined us and threw in their comments tonight. Bruiser, Clint, of course, appreciate you guys throwing in some comments tonight. 302 Birds, appreciate you guys throwing in a YouTube comment. We will see you guys for Monday night, unbiased, back. Guys, enjoy the great week of football we have in store, and we will see you guys on Monday night. For Tyler Adams, I'm Sam Nelson. Good night, everybody.
The following has been a presentation of 609 Sports Talk Radio.